The restaurant industry is one of the most dynamic and fast-paced environments where success depends on a combination of service excellence, efficient operations, and team leadership. At the heart of it all is the restaurant manager, the person who ensures customers leave happy, staff feel supported, and business goals are met. Interviewing for a restaurant manager position can be challenging because it tests not only your organizational and leadership skills, but also your ability to deal with pressure, resolve conflicts, and maintain high service standards. In this video, we will walk through some of the most common restaurant manager interview questions. For each question, we will explore what the interviewer is really looking for, and we will provide a sample response. To make the conversation clear and natural, I'll introduce each sample answer with the phrase, "Here's how you can answer." Alongside answers, we'll also share practical tips to help you stand out in a competitive interview setting. Question 1. Can you describe your experience managing restaurant operations? This question gives you the opportunity to showcase your background and establish credibility as someone who understands how a restaurant runs. Here's how you can answer. I have over 5 years of experience managing both casual and fine dining establishments. My responsibilities have included scheduling staff, managing inventory, ensuring compliance with health and safety regulations, and handling customer feedback. For example, at my last position, I implemented a new scheduling system that reduced staffing conflicts by 20% and improved employee satisfaction. I also oversaw daily operations to make sure service standards were consistently met. These experiences have taught me how to balance efficiency with excellent customer service. Question 2. How do you handle dissatisfied or difficult customers? Restaurants often deal with unhappy guests, and managers must resolve these situations gracefully. Here's how you can answer. When a customer is unhappy, my first step is always to listen without interrupting, so they feel heard. I apologize sincerely for their negative experience and then focus on resolving the issue as quickly as possible. For example, if a customer complained about a delayed order, I might offer a complimentary appetizer or dessert while ensuring their food is expedited. The key is to turn a frustrating moment into a positive one so the guest leaves feeling valued. I believe that handling complaints effectively can actually strengthen customer loyalty. Question 3. What strategies do you use to motivate your staff? Managing people is one of the most important responsibilities of a restaurant manager. Interviewers want to see how you build a positive work culture. Here's how you can answer. I focus on creating an environment where staff feel appreciated and supported. I make it a point to recognize good performance on the spot, whether it's a server handling a tough customer or a cook who goes above and beyond during a rush. I also encourage open communication so staff feel comfortable bringing up concerns. Additionally, I've used team-building activities and small incentives, like gift cards, to keep morale high. I believe motivated employees directly lead to better service and happier customers. Question 4. How do you manage inventory and control costs? A successful restaurant manager must be financially savvy and capable of keeping waste under control. Here's how you can answer. I use a combination of careful tracking and proactive planning. For instance, I review sales reports to understand demand patterns and adjust ordering accordingly. I also work closely with the kitchen team to minimize food waste by finding creative uses for ingredients before they expire. At one restaurant, I implemented portion control guidelines and reduced food costs by 12% within 3 months. Managing inventory effectively not only keeps costs under control, but also ensures we can deliver consistent quality to our guests. Question 5. How would you handle conflict between staff members? Conflict resolution is a key skill in a fast-paced environment like a restaurant. Here's how you can answer. When staff members have a disagreement, I address it quickly but respectfully. I talk to each person separately to understand their perspective, then bring them together to find common ground. For example, when 2 servers clashed over shift responsibilities, I mediated the discussion and worked with them to create a clearer task-sharing system. This not only solved their conflict but also improved teamwork for the whole shift. I believe a manager should act as a mediator who ensures fairness while keeping the team focused on customer service. Question 6. How do you ensure excellent customer service during peak hours? Busy times can make or break a restaurant's reputation, and managers need to stay calm under pressure. Here's how you can answer. I make sure the team is fully prepared before peak hours begin. That means double-checking that stations are stocked, staff schedules are clear, and everyone knows their responsibilities. During peak service, I stay visible and accessible, ready to jump in and support wherever needed, whether it's greeting guests, helping servers, or coordinating with the kitchen. At my last restaurant, I used this proactive approach during a holiday rush, which allowed us to serve 30% more guests than usual without compromising service quality. Question 7. How do you stay compliant with health and safety regulations? Restaurants must meet strict hygiene and safety standards, so managers need to demonstrate attention to detail. Here's how you can answer. I prioritize compliance by conducting regular checks and training staff thoroughly on health and safety protocols. For example, I've led monthly refresher sessions on food handling, proper cleaning practices, and emergency procedures. I also maintain checklists to ensure daily tasks like sanitizing surfaces and storing food correctly are always completed. At my last job, our restaurant passed multiple surprise inspections with 0 violations, which I believe is a testament to our consistent attention to compliance. Question 8. What do you consider the most important qualities of a successful restaurant manager? This question lets you showcase your philosophy as a leader. Here's how you can answer. I believe a successful restaurant manager needs strong leadership, clear communication, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. You have to be organized enough to manage logistics, empathetic enough to support your team, and customer-focused enough to ensure every guest has a great experience. These qualities not only help keep the restaurant running smoothly, but also inspire trust and confidence among both staff and guests. Question 9. How do you handle scheduling challenges or last-minute staff shortages? Staffing is a common problem in restaurants, and interviewers want to know how you'll handle it. Here's how you can answer. I try to prevent scheduling issues by creating balanced schedules well in advance and making sure staff can trade shifts fairly. However, when last-minute shortages happen, I remain flexible. For instance, I maintain a list of part-time staff who can step in when needed, and if necessary, I fill in myself. My goal is to ensure service isn't disrupted while keeping the team's workload manageable. I've found that clear communication and fairness help reduce scheduling conflicts in the long run. Question 10. Why do you want to work at this restaurant? This is a common closing question, and it gives you the chance to show enthusiasm for the specific restaurant. Here's how you can answer. I've always admired this restaurant for its reputation for excellent service and innovative menu. I believe my experience in managing high-volume operations and building strong teams aligns perfectly with your values. I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to the continued success of this restaurant and to create memorable experiences for guests. Final thoughts. Preparing for a restaurant manager interview means being ready to talk about leadership, problem-solving, and customer service, all while showing that you can stay calm under pressure. Your answers should not only demonstrate technical and operational knowledge, but also highlight your ability to connect with people, whether they're customers or staff. Remember that restaurants are about creating experiences, and as a manager, you are at the center of that mission. By practicing these common interview questions, focusing on structured answers, and sharing specific examples from your past experiences, you can approach your interview with confidence. Show the interviewer that you are not just capable of running operations, but also passionate about hospitality, and you'll leave a lasting impression that sets you apart from other candidates.